All right. Welcome into Toilets to Titles, coming to you live on January 20. What's today's date? The 29th, 2022. And today is the day that Tom Brady has retired. And I got the date wrong in the show title, so I apologize. I will adjust that. He retires after 22 years. There were just so many 22s between him retiring after 22 seasons, it being 2022. I threw 22 in the date, so it is not the 22nd. It is the 29th, and I already see in the comments uh, a sad face, and it is a sad day, regardless of how you feel about Tom Brady. At the end of the day, he was great, and we got to witness greatness for a very long time. And regardless of how you feel about him, at the end of the day, he did it the right way. He was a big time competitor. Odds were against him. He was kind of in a QB controversy at college in Michigan. They rotated back and forth. He wasn't really the starter. He didn't look like a dude coming out of college, gets drafted, sits behind Drew Bledsoe, and then takes the league by storm. And he is the GOAT. I see Joshua in here, Chris's videos. Thank you guys for joining. And man, he is for sure the GOAT. There will never be another. I mean, how all right, let's read off some of the accolades. 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3 times NFL MVP, 15 times Pro Bowler, 6-time All Pro. He's NFL's all-time leading TD passing leader, which I could see that being passed because they added an extra game, and that'll add up. Also, all-time passing yards leader, 85,520 yards. I could also see that being passed again because adding that extra game, that'll add up. But those other numbers, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, guy's got most career wins, 243. He did something that no one believed he could, man. I remember acquiring Tom Brady like 3 or 4 years ago in a Superflex league. I was kind of going all in, and then I tried to move him the next summer, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's a washed-up old QB. I'm not paying anything for him." And I ended up keeping him for like 3 more seasons, and the guy won me 2 more championships. It was very impressive to watch him just continue to dominate at such an old age when I didn't think he could, and I don't think many believed he could, and there was no reason to believe he could because nobody, at least in our lifetime, nobody has ever defied Father Time quite like he has. Very impressive. We're all chasing time in one way or another. To see somebody win like that in such a dominant fashion is very, very impressive. So shout out to Tom Brady. He is the GOAT. And again, like Joshua said in the chat here, there will never be another like him. At least not in our lifetime. First ballot Hall of Famer for sure. My son was asking me. My son, he's just starting to get the itch for football. He's 10 years old, and he knows about Tom Brady strictly from hearing people talk about Tom Brady. He's really, he's getting the game, but he doesn't quite get it completely yet. And his impression is mostly made off of hearing people talk about other people. So he hears people talk about Tom Brady. He asked me if he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I said, yeah, 100%. And it's kind of a shame that my son will not be able to watch Tom Brady. But luckily we live in an era with YouTube, and he can go back and watch him. Like I already got him watching some of the greats, but he'll have to do the rest of his Tom Brady viewing on the YouTube. Now I could see the NFL after this season having a completely different look. Aaron Rodgers could be out in Green Bay. And I think odds are, I think it's about 70-30 he's out in Green Bay. Where is he going to end up? Where's, Tom Brady is out. Where's Deshaun Watson going to be? The Rams all in. They went all in. And I think they're going to look completely different next year. They have no draft picks. They have no money. So I just think the NFL after this year is going to make like a complete change. And the league is going to look so different next year. Russell Wilson, he's going to be out of Seattle likely. So it's going to be very interesting. Where Ben Roethlisberger retired this year, just so much is going to change after this year, and next year is going to be a completely different animal, completely different. We got guys like Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen's taking a step, and I know the Chiefs beat them, but I think the Bills are the better team, and I don't see the Chiefs continuing next year. They're very good, but I think some of these younger guys. Not that Patrick Mahomes isn't young, but I just think the teams that haven't yet really been successful, we're going to start to see them step up and rise up. And I think they have an opportunity to. Things are going to look a lot different for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year. Chris Godwin's a free agent. Ryan Jensen, the center. Leonard Fournette, free agent. Carlton Davis, the corner. Jordan Whitehead, the safety. William Golston and Jason Pierre-Paul, defensive lineman. I think they got about 22 million in cap. So I'm sure they could bring some of them back, but how many of these guys are going to want to come back? So many people they took good deals to come back to try to win a championship and they didn't. And that also surprises me. Tom Brady, led the league like he just was dominated this year. He absolutely dominated. It wasn't like he trailed off. He didn't look like Big Ben. He did not look like Big Ben, completely different. And he lost. So I'm surprised that, a competitor like him is retiring, on a losing note. It says a lot about his character that he's able to stomach that. He sees, I guess, that he's done. Maybe he just doesn't see the Buccaneers being able to do it next year. Maybe he doesn't see them being able to bring back all the guys he needs. And maybe, he doesn't want to change teams again. I don't know. But he retired, after a loss. Rob Gronkowski, is he going to retire? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Rob Gronkowski retires. Bruce Arians, man, I wouldn't be surprised if that guy leaves, like Sean Payton. Then think about that. Think about Sean Payton leaving in New Orleans. They're in cap hell. The Bucs aren't going to look the same at all next year. The Falcons, Matt Ryan's getting old. Sam Darnold down in Carolina. If you're the Panthers, now is the time. Like, you got to make a move. I know there's rumors about Russell Wilson to the New York Giants. Like, all right, get me Deshaun Watson. Get me something. Like, Sam Darnold's not cutting it. If the Panthers feel like there's a window, the window's now. Carolina, the window is now, because Atlanta, they're not very good. The Saints aren't going to be very good. So the league is going to look a lot different next year. So, I mean, it's just, it needed to be said. We needed to record an episode. We needed to discuss this. The GOAT, Tom Brady, has retired. It is the end of an era, right? Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, just, all of these guys that I grew up watching. It's the new day. We got the Josh Allens, the Justin Herberts, the Patrick Mahomes. All those guys it's their NFL right now, man. It is their NFL. Kyler Murray, it's the game is changing, and my kids, they're going to grow up with some different names, and it is a sad day, but we all knew it was coming. You can only fight Father Time for so long, and he's catching up. I mean, the guy's 44 years old, goes out at the top of his game, showed the world that he could keep doing it, and he is stopping on his own. An injury isn't taking him out. Bad play isn't taking him out. He's saying, you know what? I'm crushing it, and I'm done. And that's it. So Tom Brady has retired. Comment with your thoughts on Tom Brady retiring, maybe with your thoughts on where you think Russell Wilson's going to end up, where you think Aaron Rodgers is going to end up. I would love to see that. So I'm going to be checking the comments after this episode. I appreciate you listening, and we will catch you later on. Take care.